guys, welcome back to me talking about the one and only thing on life, money. In today's video, I want to share with you jobs you can do without a degree. Not only that, but also websites where you can find these jobs. Time is money and I don't want to waste yours, so let's get started. Number 1, graphic and UI UX designer. Graphic designer's job involves developing visual concepts, nowadays using computer softwares to inform or persuade the target audience. It's all about using artistic abilities to communicate ideas visually for a company or a client. The main goal is engagement at first glance. Assuming you don't have a degree in this field, you may wonder what skills do you need and how do you even go about it. Some of the skills include, but not limited to, proficiency in programs such as Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and excellent communication skills. It's important to communicate effectively so you can be able to convert briefs into products that will meet the client's expectation. You also need to have a portfolio showcasing your skills or your work, because if you don't have a degree, the only thing that can prove that you actually have the necessary skills is a portfolio. Now let's look at UX UI design. UX and UI are usually used interchangeably, but they are different. UX is user experience design, which focuses on the entire experience of the user. It involves structural design solutions to problems that users may encounter while interacting with the product. For example, when doing online shopping, the UX designer can focus on the checkout process, how easy it is for you to add or to find canned foods and add them to your cart. That's why UX designers conduct task analysis to really understand the user flow. They want to see how you do certain tasks in an app or how you interact with the product. UI is user interface design, which focuses on the aesthetics of the product. This involves color palette used, buttons, imagery, animations, etc. You are visually guiding the user through the process. There is no UI without UX, but you can choose to specialize in one. However, if you don't have a degree and you want to maximize your opportunities, it wouldn't hurt to learn skills for both. Big companies who have the budget usually hire UI and UX designers separately, but small companies or individual clients may prefer someone who knows both UI and UX designing. Among many other skills you will need, you do need to be familiar with HTML and CSS, which is basically used to make the product more visually appealing. For example, that subscribe button, the colors used, the padding around it, CSS played a huge role in styling. The big question is, where do you start? Maybe you are 17 years old, you've just finished high school and you don't have the funds to go to university, but somehow this sounds like something you'd like to do. Or you're in your 30s and you want to switch careers, or you're just someone who wants to learn a new skill that can allow you to earn an extra income. The first platform is this one, YouTube University. You can learn all the skills you need for free. However, with free things, there's one downside which can be bearable if you cannot afford to spend any money. You will have to search for hours looking for the right material. As a beginner, it may not be clear which roadmap to follow, and you will find a lot of people who claim to know better, so be careful. Alternatively, you can use platforms like Udemy, Skillshare, etc. for more tailored courses for UX or UI design or even graphic design. But where will you find jobs? Once you've acquired the necessary skills, you should check out Dribbble.com and Nodesk.co. Obviously, there are other websites, but these two offer a lot of remote jobs from entry level to senior level. Upwork and Freelancer.com will never be a bad idea. That's where you'll find most clients with low budgets, and you can take up those projects to build your credibility. Number 2, ads manager. Advertising manager's job involves researching and effectively creating advertising campaigns for companies to drive sales or increase brand awareness. I'm sure you've seen those sponsored social media ads on Instagram or Facebook. Some small companies still don't know how to create ads or effective ads, and that's because it's not easy. A lot of people are now getting into dropshipping, especially in Africa, but they don't know how to increase their sales. They try to create ads by themselves and end up blowing their accounts because they don't have the necessary skills. They need you. You can be an expert in anything you choose just by doing more than the average person. However, you should know that with skill-based jobs, you cannot lie your way to the top. There are people who hold degrees but don't know much. Maybe they're just good at memorizing stuff. You really need to prove yourself. You have to show that you have what it takes. No degree doesn't mean it's gonna be easy. It just means you don't need a degree or a certificate to succeed. Start by learning free tutorials on creating Facebook ads, Even Google has a course on this. I'll link all the platforms you can use. With any kind of marketing, it is always advisable to start targeting a specific niche instead of trying to solve everyone's problem. Don't be a general digital marketer. Choose a specialization and focus on that. Learn as much as you can and be willing to do free work here and there to showcase and build your portfolio. A degree automatically buys you credibility in most spaces, but without a degree, you need to build that credibility, and the only way you can do that is by working, even if it means for free. Google has digital marketing certifications, and you can never go wrong with having those. In fact, I suggest you go through them, but you must know that there is no company that's gonna hire you just because you have those certifications. What you're able to do with the knowledge you gained from those certifications will set you apart. As a beginner, the best place to find ads manager's job has to be the freelancing platform. That's where you'll find people who just got into dropshipping but don't know how to create ads, or people who just started their businesses and need help with marketing. Once you've built some experience, you can check out job boards either in your country or international ones. Number 3, sales agent. A sales agent is a person who initializes and manages relationships with customers. There are 2 types of selling: inbound and outbound. For inbound, the prospects, which will be clients or customers, come into the company looking for a product, or they may submit some information through the company's website, and an inbound salesperson will reach out by calling or emailing the potential client. For example, when you go to a car dealership, you do research prior and voluntarily walk in there. You may be influenced by some ads you've seen before, but no one really calls you to come over. Another example will be when you are looking for an apartment on Property 24 or whatever website, and they ask you to leave your contact details so that their agent can reach out to you later. Inbound selling doesn't mean that the company just fold hands and wait for customers to come in. No, they still need to do the work to make sure that potential customers are aware of the brand. Outbound, on the other hand, involves the salesperson going out to the prospect to offer a service or product. This is the part of selling that many of us who aren't skilled in this department don't like. Because as a salesperson, you do a lot of cold calling, basically contacting potential clients who have not expressed any interest in your product, but you are trying to get them interested. These 2 work hand in hand, but you can specialize in one or the other. Some of the careers you can pivot to once you've mastered the skill of selling include real estate agent, insurance agent, business-to-business representative, travel agent, etc. To find sales-related jobs, you should check out Crossover and Remotive. None of this job require you to have a degree, but you will need discipline to master the skill and succeed. When I was first starting to learn to code, one of my friends asked me, why do I like to stress myself? Because I already have an engineering degree in a different engineering discipline. And I told her one thing: yes, I am an engineer, but as a junior engineer, I cannot be an engineer outside the company. I would need years of experience for me to be able to use my skills to freelance. So I want more skills that can allow me to freelance without needing 5 years or 10 years experience. And I think you should also approach this with the same mentality. It doesn't matter what you're currently doing, even if you have a job. If you're a doctor, for example, yes, you have the title, but you can only be a doctor in the hospital or your clinic, or maybe in the case of emergency. But you can't just decide to operate your family members just because you are a doctor or just because you have the title. So you can never go wrong with learning new skills that can add to your wealth building journey if that's a goal for you. I had initially planned to cover 5 jobs that you can do without a degree, but I feel like this video is too long now and I don't want it to be too long and indigestible. So I will stop here. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I'm gonna try to reply as soon as I can.